The movie begins with the accountant of the most powerful cartel in Mexico entering a cantina with his wife. Inside the establishment is Jack, a former DEA agent who, after leaving the service, became a professional thief specializing in high-risk robberies. While pretending to be a simple drunk, his girlfriend Norma distracts one of the guards at the entrance by pretending that her vehicle has broken down. Making his wife believe that he needs to go to the bathroom, Vicente locks himself inside with the waitress to have sex. Jack takes advantage of the situation and knocks out the guard with a single punch, then surprises the mobster and rips away a memory drive hanging from his neck. Jack demands that he reveal the location of the money, warning him that when his boss finds out he lost the drive, he will be killed. The mobster insults him, and Jack knocks him out. When the henchmen start moving into action, Jack's partner surprises them with a bottle strike. Norma neutralizes another guard and gets into her vehicle to move toward the back entrance, ready to help them. But Jack tells her to grab the memory and leave before the police arrive. Once his team has gotten away, agents surround Jack and order him to kneel, only to reveal that they are corrupt, beating him while warning him that he has no idea what he has just done. Meanwhile, the United States Senator is intercepted by several journalists who question him about the border proposal. He responds that they plan to build a wall between the United States and Mexico. He acknowledges that not all Latinos are criminals and says they cannot judge everyone because of a few rotten apples. The journalists begin pressing him with more questions, so the senator decides to walk away without answering them all. As he leaves, he crosses paths with a DEA agent named Price, the man who hired Jack with the goal of infiltrating him into a Mexican prison. A few hours later, Price visits his agent at the detention center. They simulate an argument while he secretly informs Jack that he will be sent to the cage, the prison he must infiltrate to obtain key documents about bank accounts used for laundering cartel money. The cartel boss is a man nicknamed the Captain, a bloodthirsty and ruthless trafficker known for his brutality and absolute control over the flower trade. His criminal network stretches beyond national borders with connections inside government, police, and the military, giving him the freedom to operate without consequences. While threatening a deserter from his organization, his wife appears and asks him about the color of napkins for their guests. They are preparing a lavish party where they will invest huge amounts of money. Unaware that the man tied to the chair is a deserter, she asks if his partner will attend the party. Her husband replies that he will not, because he will leave the next afternoon on business. When Jack is sent to the Mexican prison, a guard warns him that he will not last long inside, as many inmates will try to kill him simply for being American. Once inside his cell, several prisoners stare at him with hostile eyes. Meanwhile, his team examines the memory drive and discovers that the captain hides his money inside a maximum security prison. Jack had concealed this information from them to avoid involving them, which is why he stayed behind at the bar, waiting for the agents. Determined to help, Norma contacts Price to ask for the prison's location. The following morning, Jack faces the prison's boss for the first time, a man named Ramon. The leader tries to provoke him by blocking his way to the table. Jack, showing no fear, calmly moves his tray. The gesture enrages Ramon, who throws Jack's food to the floor and punches him twice in the face. He then calls one of his men, a towering giant over 2 meters tall, and orders him to kill Jack mercilessly. Jack defends himself with the tray, stopping several prisoners who try to ambush him from behind. While fighting the giant, Ramon pulls out a sharp weapon with the intent to kill him, but Jack reacts quickly, disarms him using specialized defensive techniques, and throws the weapon to the ground. Guards rush in and take Jack away. Back with the captain, his men inform him that they have increased security for the upcoming event in case of complications. He introduces one of the new guards, who turns out to be an American with combat skills. That night, Jack's team infiltrates the prison by impersonating support staff. Norma takes the role of a nurse, while Billy and their new partner, nicknamed Tank, disguise themselves as electricians. They manage to bypass security without much trouble until one of the guards starts questioning them, especially about the tanks, which seems suspicious. Billy explains that they are for cleaning ventilation ducts and that the process will take 30 minutes to verify the electrical system. When Norma later speaks with her boyfriend, she demands to know why he hid his plan from them. Jack apologizes, explaining that he asked Price not to involve them because he did not want them to get hurt. Norma informs him that everything is ready, They will grab the documents along with the money and escape in 30 minutes. To incapacitate most of the guards, the team uses the nitrogen tanks, managing to put nearly all of them to sleep within 30 seconds. They also cut the power to the internal camera system. However, one guard returns and catches them wearing masks. Billy orders Tank to stop him, but in the end the guard manages to escape with the help of a partner, activating the alarm before collapsing unconscious from the gas. Just as Norma is intercepted by several guards, Jack returns and knocks them all out. After disabling the alarm, Billy notices on the cameras that his partner is beating the parking guard uncontrollably. He orders him to stop and to return immediately. Because the alarm was triggered, the vault door containing the documents automatically locked as a security measure. The giant suggests they wake one of the guards and force him to give them the combination, but Billy explains that it is useless. Once the alarm is activated, the vault remains locked for 24 hours. Their only option is to cut through it with a blowtorch. They have until 6 in the morning before the guards' shift change. As they put on guard uniforms, Jack decides to contact his contractor to complain about involving his team. Price explains that his girlfriend would not stop insisting. She is a former guerrilla fighter with many skills, and he assures Jack there is nothing to worry about. Price asks for updates, and Jack explains that complications arose, and the mission will take longer than expected. If the captain learns of the situation, Hector will contact them to inform them that they have been discovered. For now, the cartel does not know about the infiltration. After ending the call, Price meets with one of the journalists who had questioned the senator. The reporter informs him that the captain is organizing a massive party for his partners to close an important deal. Price pays him for the information, and the man leaves. Back at the prison, Norma tries to contact their new partner, but he does not answer because he is searching the guard's locker room. Minutes later, he responds, saying he needs privacy to change clothes. As he heads toward the main entrance, he crosses paths with Jack, who asks him to follow. Meanwhile, the captain learns of the assault his men suffered. They had tried to hide the incident to save their lives, but in the end, the truth came out. The thugs report that an American attacked them. The accountant had been having sex with the waitress in the bathroom. They neglected their post and were knocked out in minutes. The gringo tore off the memory drive hanging around the accountant's neck. Furious, the captain orders them to leave, promising to deal with them later. He then speaks with the police director, demanding that they bring him the gringo and recover the memory at all costs. The director explains that they searched him, but he had nothing on him and that he was transferred to the cage. With this information, the captain contacts one of his associates. Suspicious of his new partner, Jack asks Billy for information about him. Billy explains that he was part of the special forces, recommended by one of his friends. He is a man with many abilities. When he disabled the alarm, Billy saw through the cameras that he was beating a guard in the parking lot. In the next scene, we see Price entering Norma's house in search of the memory. Meanwhile, the captain approaches his new guard in a friendly way, begins to play with his mind, and comments that he likes to hire Americans with military backgrounds. They have something others lack. They are loyal and completely focused on what they do, without thinking of themselves. He asks about his past, and Hector replies that he was in the Navy. The trafficker mentions all his ranks, making it clear that they already investigated him. He orders his men to approach and tells him to have dignity. He must accept his destiny without begging for mercy. There will be no compassion for those who try to harm his organization. He returns to his office and contacts the prison director, but the one who answers turns out to be Jack. The trafficker threatens him and informs him that his partner Hector has just been killed. If he dares to touch his money, his entire team will share the same fate. He informs his companions that they have been discovered and heads to Ramon's cell to propose an alliance. The gang member tells him he is crazy. Everyone knows that the captain hides his money in the cage, but no one ever dared to try to steal it. Nobody robs the captain and lives to tell the tale. Seeing his tattoo, Jack realizes that he was also part of the Navy just like him. Ramon explains that he was a sniper, later joined the cartel, and worked for the captain for 5 years. Because of him, he is now locked up in the cage. The former agent tells him he needs his support. He needs information in exchange for the keys to a cell. Ramon warns him that if they have been discovered, a group called the Operators will be sent, trained soldiers who don't care about dying as long as they accomplish their mission. He returns to his team and informs them they will be attacked. They must be prepared. He tells Norma that he does not trust the new partner. His behavior is very strange. He has a bad feeling and thinks the best thing would be to abandon the mission. He confesses he would like to buy an apartment and open a coffee shop. His girlfriend convinces him to continue with the mission. Once they receive payment, they will leave their life of thieves behind. When he finds Tank, he notices that he has just killed some guards. Jack becomes furious, and Tank tells him he had no choice. They got loose, and he had to kill them. It was either his life or theirs. At that moment, Norma informs them that there is movement outside. Several armed men are entering. Jack releases Tank and orders him to grab a weapon. They advance through the cells and are attacked by the soldiers. Unexpectedly, the new partner withdraws, leaving them behind. Jack asks Norma to unlock the cells in the secondary wing. He takes refuge in one of the cells and is attacked from behind by a gang member. Meanwhile, Billy notices the soldiers and hides to surprise one of them. He gains the advantage, landing a series of blows, but the soldier knocks him down with his weapon. They trade hits on the ground until Billy flees after the soldier regains the gun. Later, Billy surprises him and knocks him out by slamming his head against some pipes. Returning to our protagonist, Jack manages to break free from the giant, who is neutralized by the soldier. Several prisoners escape from their cells, and the soldier shoots them, emptying his magazine. When he is distracted fighting a prisoner, the former agent seizes the opportunity to throw him from above. Meanwhile, Norma is chased by one of the soldiers who eventually corners her inside a container. Just as he is about to kill her, Jack arrives at the perfect moment to save her. The team reunites, and Jack informs them that Tank ran away when the soldiers attacked. Since arriving, he has been looking for the exit. Despite his size, he is a coward. When they open the vault, the team realizes that there is nothing inside. Jack decides to call their contractor and informs him they fell into a trap. Someone moved the documents and money before they arrived. Price orders them to leave the prison, hangs up the call, and stores the memory along with his computer. As he heads toward his vehicle, he is intercepted by several armed men who gun him down mercilessly. Back with the team, Jack orders them to prepare the truck. He goes looking for Tank and finds him talking on the phone. He points a gun at him and demands the phone. He tries to extract information, but Tank refuses to answer. Jack deduces that the guard from the parking lot was the one who moved the documents and money from the vault, which is why he tried to kill him. His supposed partner disarms him with the suitcase, and they begin to fight hand to hand. After demonstrating their skills for several minutes, his opponent grabs a weapon and tries to kill him. Jack manages to turn the tables and surprise him from behind. He returns to his team and informs them that he found Tank talking on the phone, carrying the money in suitcases. They fought, and he ended up killing him with his pistol. Suddenly, the power is cut off from the external system, revealing that the cartel has sent another group of hitmen. Jack goes back to Ramon's cell and offers him $5 million for his help. The gang member explains that after the operators, the cartel sends a group of international assassins. They are deployed in case the soldiers fail their mission. Jack asks Norma to unlock the cells in Block 3. Ramon calls on the inmates to join him. They take the guards' weapons and position themselves to wait for the assassins, who are neutralized without having a chance to react. Some time later, Norma is attacked by the police director under the orders of the senator, who is revealed to be one of the cartel's most important partners. The money hidden in the prison vault not only belongs to the cartel, but is also a key piece in the corruption network the senator manages in the shadows alongside the captain. The senator uses his political power to protect criminals and ensure the authorities never interfere with their business. When Jack infiltrated the prison and stole the money, without knowing it, he directly attacked the senator's interests. A simple criminal now has the chance to collaborate with a United States senator. A tempting offer, but one he must carefully consider, as it will change his life forever. He will be able to enjoy all the luxuries he desires. He orders his men to release Norma, but Jack tells him he made a grave mistake. He was never fired from the DEA. This means his real mission was not only to steal the money, but to gather evidence against the true masterminds of the crime. All this time, he had been working for the DEA under the facade of a high-risk thief. Not knowing what to do, the senator checks the suitcases and realizes the money is fake. At that moment, the death bus appears, and the traffickers abandon the senator to save their own lives. Instead of the assassins stepping off the vehicle, the inmates from the cage emerge to torture him. Hours later, the captain is surprised in his mansion by the inmates. It turns out they tortured the senator until he revealed his location. The captain carefully picks up his weapon. The former cartel members lower theirs, aware that he cannot escape his imminent fate. The captain declares that he prefers to die with honor rather than beg for his life, and shoots himself in the head. In the final scene, we see Norma stepping angrily out of the vehicle. She thought this was the last mission they would carry out, that they would use part of the money to start a new life, not that they would have to return it all. It turns out Jack has been assigned another mission for the DEA. With Norma returning to the vehicle while scolding her boyfriend for his decisions, the movie comes to an end.